Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're doing a recap for the movie Fortuna's Eye. Spoilers ahead, so watch out. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to our channel so that you can watch more videos like these. Stephen was injured in a plane crash when he was a little child. He is his family's lone survivor. Since then, he has developed an ability known as Fortuna's Eye that allows him to see through dying people. People who are about to die seem transparent to him. He pursues a career as a mechanic once he has grown up. He has spent the last 10 years diligently working in a garage. His supervisor respects him because of his diligence. As a result, the supervisor selects him to be the branch manager. For many years, Dean, a co-worker, has also worked in his garage. He also aspires to lead the branch. He is therefore envious of Stephen. Despite Stephen giving up the chance to advance, Dean purposefully scrapes and smears his rebuilt automobile. Dean shoves Stephen to the ground during their discussion, breaking the screen of his phone. Stephen visits a phone shop late at night to have his phone fixed. There he meets Alice, a pretty girl. She puts a fresh screen protector on his phone to guard against scuffs. Stephen appreciates her and finds her attractive. On his way to meet Alice the following day-night, Stephen notices a man turning transparent. To find out what will happen, he follows him, but suddenly a car strikes and kills the man in front of Stephen. He is severely shocked by that scene. Later, Stephen's phone stops working once more. He visits Alice's place of employment, the phone store, to purchase a new one. He discovers Alice's hands begin to be translucent when he hands her his phone so she can copy the info on it. He suddenly experiences anxiety and fear. He extends an invitation to meet for coffee right away. Stephen discovers Alex to be opaque when they meet at the coffee shop as scheduled. He exhales in a sense of relaxation. Stephen explains to Alice, who is perplexed, that he has the ability to see through other people's bodies. He doesn't give her any further explanation, though. Soon after leaving the coffee shop, he experiences sudden heartache. He sees Alice in the store and understands he needs to put in more effort if he wants to provide for her in a joyful way. The following day, Stephen accepts the position of branch manager and gets down to business. Stephen receives a visit from Alice at night. She claims that yesterday there was an explosion at the chemical plant she regularly passes. If Stephen hadn't suggested they get coffee, she would have been hurt yesterday. She then approaches him to thank him. Stephen is pleased about that. He understands that his unique talent could help him keep his beloved girl safe. He then exhibits greater assurance and openness. Stephen's boss's wife is thrilled with his transformation because he used to be so shy and full of hate for himself, a girl he once met and fell in love with. He didn't have the confidence to confess to her, though, because of his inferiority complex. Stephen is in charge of the branch and things go smoothly. When he goes to the head garage one day, the manager is reprimanding Dean. Dean is fired by the boss for using a customer's vehicle without authorization. Dean becomes furious. He uses repair tools to severely strike Stephen as a means of expressing his resentment. When the boss notices this, he punches Dean and kicks him out of the garage. Stephen, however, notices that the boss is turning transparent right now, which indicates that he is ready to pass away. Stephen continues to watch over him from his side. He is in trouble as expected. Dean unexpectedly shows up and prepares to strike the boss as he walks home. Fortunately, Stephen steps out in front of the boss right away and shields him from harm. However, after saving the boss, Stephen experiences excruciating chest pain. When he finally passes out, he is transported to the hospital. Doctors discover that all of his bodily functions are okay after performing a number of tests. Stephen tries to help a young girl who is turning transparent in the hospital hallway. However, a doctor intervenes and stops him at this point. In actuality, this doctor shares his talent. He informs Stephen that even though they have the capacity to see through the bodies of those who are going to pass away, they are powerless to intervene and alter their course of events. Otherwise, they will be made to pay a heavy price for it themselves. After hearing it, Stephen realized he had no control over other people's lives or deaths. He understands that he needs to focus more on his own life. He confesses to Alice as a result of his first action. Alice is thrilled to become his girlfriend. In addition, Stephen intercedes with the boss for Dean and employs him again. Dean is moved by Stephen's magnanimity. But whenever Stephen recalls the suffering at childhood, he would become nervous and incredulous about the present happiness. Alice keeps comforting him and helps open his heart. At last, Stephen thinks things through and decides to make a proposal to Alice. But after buying a ring for the proposal, his heart suddenly feels ill, so he goes to the hospital for an examination. He is diagnosed with a chronic disease called stenocardia. The doctor warns him that the disease is the price he needs to pay for his interference with others' fate. Stephen chooses not to interfere with other people's lives after hearing that. A regular customer stops by the garage one day. This person is the girl's boyfriend, who Stephen formerly had feelings for. Stephen asks the girl a question. The man claims that the girl spent all of her money on him before turning into a whore. The man makes fun of Stephen and diminishes him since he knows he cares about the girl. For Stephen, Dean is enraged and wants to strike the man. Stephen, who serves Dean politely, stops Dean because he is a regular customer. Stephen notices the man's hands are turning transparent when he arrives to pick up his car the following day. Stephen initially wants to warn him, but after considering the doctor's advice and the man's cruel treatment of the girl, Stephen decides to remain cautious. The man passes away as predicted later. Stephen feels bad after witnessing his family grieving during his burial. He is overcome with grief even after returning home. He is comforted by Alice. Stephen, though, is entirely consumed by the intense feeling. Nothing can get through to him. He vehemently dismisses Alice's good intentions. Stephen is horrified to awaken from the dream after Alice departs, in which the scene of the plane incident recurs. Stephen notices that everyone on the train has turned translucent the following day. Children around the station experience the same thing. He then discovers a flyer offering family outings on the ground. He understands that these kids and the other travelers he saw on the train this morning will cross paths at a specific time. He discovers that the train will be in an accident the day after tomorrow by looking at the schedule of the family outing on the flyer. Alice receives an apology from Stephen for being the target of his rage earlier. He then notices that her hands have also turned transparent. He extends a travel invitation to Alice. The kindergarten is then contacted and asked to adjust the schedule of the family holiday. However, he experiences heartbreak once more. He visits the hospital and requests the physician's opinion on his prognosis. Without saying anything, the doctor warns him that if he continues to meddle in other people's lives, bad things would happen to him. Stephen, however, is still willing to give it a shot. He assigns Dean to handle the garage's work. Then, in order to show his appreciation for the boss and his wife, he purchases some gifts for them. He composes a letter to Alice and tucks it away in the drawer. Stephen believes Alice will be waiting for him at his house the next day as scheduled. Alice decides not to take the trip and boards the train after leaving a message stating that her colleague is ill. Stephen leaves the moment he notices that. However, he notices the police at the door. Actually, the kindergarten employee who answered Stephen's phone thinks he's a freak and dials 911. Stephen keeps racing to elude the cops in order to save Alice, but when he gets to the train station, he sees Alice boarding. He then calls a taxi right away and shows there early at the location of the prospective disaster. There he discovers that the people building the structure's walls have also turned transparent. He realizes right away that the crane will snap the cable, eventually leading to the train accident. He rushes with a signal stick in hand to the tracks without pausing. The train's driver applies the brakes right away. All the cables in front of the train are now severed when the crane collapses. Stephen, who drops on his knees in front of the train, kicks the bucket, but Alice and all the other passengers are unharmed. Alice is feeling really depressed. She gives Stephen a lengthy, passionate hug before he finally must depart. For only she is aware of the reality. Actually, Alice was on the plane that crashed that year and survived as well. She had the Fortuna's eye and was saved by Stephen. they were inactive after the accident. However, when they became adults, fate brings them back together, after learning that Stephen had once more helped her in secret. Alice developed feelings for him. She realized Stephen would have to give his life to save her when she noticed he was turning transparent. She therefore made the decision to board the train and accept fate. She believed that her selfless act would prolong his life. Even so, Stephen ultimately gave his life for her. Alice visits Stephen's after his funeral to gather up his mementos. In the drawer, she finds that letter. Stephen wants to marry her, and she also discovers a pair of rings. As soon as Alice notices this, she sobs bitterly. Despite the fact that the happiness they had anticipated is no longer possible due to Stephen's passing, Alice recognizes the importance of savoring the moment and living in the here and now, because Stephen's first priority is to see her happy. With that, we've come to an end. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Until next time.